Hi everybody. As I had promised, today we are going to have a look at ECHS empanelment. First, understand what is ECHS. ECHS is a short form that stands for Ex-Serviceman Contributory Health Scheme. So this is a contributory health scheme for ex-army person, ex-army in the sense ex-army, navy as well as air force, also coast guard. So it is a contributory health scheme where these serving soldiers, when they are about to retire, they will contribute a specific amount to this fund. This fund is centrally managed by ECHS Interlog, and from that fund these expenses are undertaken. So ECHS works according to the CGHS rates. Now, a lot of hospitals are reluctant to take ECHS for few reasons. I'll come to that one by one. I would also take you through the entire application process. Now, let's start with the benefits of ECHS empanelment, which is ECHS empanelment is a very clear-cut procedure with no agents or no middleman involved. Very clear documentation. If your documentations are clear, there is no way your empanelment is going to be stopped anywhere. Nobody is going to ask you for any favors or any other thing. Second is if your bills are in order. If your bills are in order, there is no deduction which we see in ECHS cases. If your bills are not in order, yes, they are very very clear and strict in terms of documentation part. Upgrades of implants are allowed. For example, if a patient has got an entitlement of a specific implant or a specific room category, the patient is free to choose a higher room category if the patient is willing to pay for it from the pocket. Now, another benefit of having an ECHS empanelment is the bills and the documents. There is no need to send a hard copy. You can upload a digitally signed copy with a DSC token, which is totally acceptable, and your claim will be processed based on that digitally signed documents itself. However, it's not all good. There are some drawbacks as well. The process of payment is very delayed. This process of payment will take up to 6 months to 1 year, and it's delayed. So a hospital which is relying on its day-to-day cash flow is going to be difficult. They should have a bit of a reserve cash flow. You cannot depend on ECHS to give you a profitable income. However, it will work on your hospital's running expenses. So, second drawback is it's got a referral system where the patient cannot just walk in, get the surgery done and go. So, the patient has to be referred to your to a private empaneled hospital specifically for the surgery. For example, if a patient is referred for opinion by an ophthalmologist, you are supposed to give an opinion as an ophthalmologist and send the patient back. You cannot operate the patient. The patient has to be referred clearly for cataract surgery. You can operate the patient for cataract surgery. So the entire referral system has got a clarity to it, but yes, the referral do add some bit of red tape into it. The third drawback which people complain is about an EMD deposit of 1 lakh for eye hospitals and a performance bank guarantee of 2 lakhs for eye hospitals. So, for other hospitals it is higher, for eye hospitals and single specialty it is lower. So, what is an EMD? EMD is that when you start an application process with ECHS, they want to know that are you serious about the application or not. So, during the application, they hold a fixed deposit by your hospital in the name of the hospital, but that fixed deposit will be not locked till the time the ECHS gives a clearance to it. Similarly, performance bank guarantee, as the word mentions, for performance. For example, if tomorrow a patient comes, there is a claim, there is any mismanagement or any incorrect claim which has come. So, the ECHS should be able to liquidate the fixed deposit and utilize that fund for resolution. But rarely it happens. It's a fixed deposit in your hospital's name. It will keep on gathering its required interest, whatever is the interest rate prevailing. So, the fixed deposit is your own. They will not take it unless and until there is a issue. Now, understand the drawback of ECHS is that it's not a very big paying kind of a patient flow, but it gives a decent amount of income for the hospital. It keeps the, it's not a for profit. You cannot, it's not like you are having a big income from it, but it will keep your cash registers going on. It will just give you a running income. So it's from my side, being an ex-serviceman myself, I would seriously suggest for hospitals to take up ECHS empanelment. One of the key factors which I would like to say is that most of the hospitals which are empaneled for ECHS presently are in metro cities. Now ECHS wants to spread its presence in other cities also. So hospitals from smaller cities, it's a right time to apply for this empanelment, and it should be through. Now let me take you through the process. The process is there are four different aspects of the process. One is the inspection, second is the application, third is the approval, and fourth is the final MOU signature. Now the inspection part, many years back, the ECHS inspection used to be conducted by the local doctors of ECHS. However, that task has been outsourced to QCI in not so recent past. So the present inspection is conducted by QCI. So you go to NABH website, which is nabh.co, and there you will find two places. One is empanelment. You will find there is something called ECHS. You click that, you will get to know a lot of details about ECHS empanelment. So these are the, just go through this page, it will give you a lot of insight into it. The fees is mentioned, the documents are mentioned, and ECHS, for ECHS empanelment, QCI inspection is mandatory. It has to be done first if your hospital is a non-NABH accredited hospital. If your hospital is NABH accredited, then this QCI inspection is not required. You can directly apply for empanelment with the ECHS. So how do you apply for a QCI inspection? Is go to this corner which says new launches. There is something called as an ECHS and CGHS. It will open a new page in which you are supposed to register as a new user and enter your details according to your certificates. Now understand, whatever your certificate in your hospital registration name is, the same name has to be there for the organization name. Otherwise, any small mismatch, even a spelling, even a single letter being mismatched, is going to create a problem for you in future. So be careful. So what I normally suggest people to do is register on this page with a, once you register on this page and log in, you are supposed to complete the application within a stipulated time, which normally with a hospital it's slightly difficult to get the documents in order in time. So what I would suggest is use any name, go log in, download, take a print of the application forms, the different tabs and different pages, and keep it for your ready reference. Start collecting those documents accordingly, and when you are ready for it, then you can finally log in with your actual credentials and go through that. In ECHS, one of the interesting part is one criteria which which is worth mentioning for eye hospitals is, in ECHS criteria, it mentions that the hospital should have 2 phaco machines. Now, one more thing is, when you get empaneled in ECHS, your scope of services is clearly defined, that whether you are getting empaneled for a general ophthalmology category or cornea or retina or oculoplasty or a squint or glaucoma. Now, for any of these subspecialties, you require a full-time specialist at your hospital. If you have a cornea specialist who is just visiting, that doesn't count. An oculoplasty surgeon coming on visiting basis doesn't count. So you should be able to show them enough evidence, that is your that specialist name on the board or the attendance register. So you should be able to show enough evidence that you have a full-time specialist. So when you apply for ECHS through QCI, what they do is they will schedule an inspection and finally give you a letter of approval. This cost of the inspection charged by QCI is 25,000 plus GST. Now, once the inspection is done, they will issue a letter of completion certification for ECHS, and along with that certification, you are supposed to apply to your nearest regional center. Now, when you look at the regional center, how you should understand the structure of ECHS. ECHS has got a central org, which is the central organization, which is located in Delhi. Under the central org, there are a lot of regional centers like Hyderabad Regional Center, Ahmedabad Regional Center, Bombay Regional Center. So under these regional centers, the country's geographical region is distributed into these regional centers. Under these regional centers, there are various polyclinics. When you say polyclinics, these are independent clinics, especially only only caters to ECHS beneficiaries, and these polyclinics are the places where this patients first report to, whether it is in the city, outside the city. So being from Hyderabad, I know the structure of the Hyderabad. So regional center Hyderabad is located in Hyderabad, and it has got the regional center will have a director, and for our concern, there is a joint director Med. So this joint director Med is the person who will take care of the empanelment of the hospitals within the area of this regional center. Now, if you look at the polyclinics of this regional center, there is one at Anantapur, one at Chittur, one at Kadapa, one at Eluru, Giddallur, Golconda, Guntur, Karimnagar. So they have a lot of polyclinics here and there stretched out. Now, interestingly, in Hyderabad regional center, all the empanelment hospitals are majorly in Hyderabad. So even if a patient from from Guntur or Karimnagar wants to get a surgery done, the patient has to come to Hyderabad. Now, what commonly happens is these patients, for example, an ex-serviceman in the town of Karimnagar will go to a nearest eye doctor, a civil eye doctor, and get himself checked. They will realize that, okay, there is a cataract. This ex-serviceman, what he will do is, he will go to his Karimnagar polyclinic and show the document. Karimnagar Polyclinic will not generally does not have an eye specialist. So what they will do is, after seeing this document, the ECHS Polyclinic will refer the patient to an ECHS Empaneled facility for cataract surgery. So with that document, the patient is free to go to any of the ECHS Empaneled hospital and get himself operated. Now, this referral system is there. The application system is that once you get your QCI certificate for ECHS empanelment, you are supposed to contact the regional center under which your hospital comes, and once you contact the regional center, they will send you the current forms. There is a huge around 25-30 pages form. Out of that, 20 pages of pure instructions, rest of the pages you can fill it up. Anybody who wants a template of it or a copy of it can always contact me. I'll be able to provide you template how to fill it also. So once the forms are filled and the documents are completed, you are supposed to arrange the documents in a specific order. There's a checklist that comes with it. So along with that, what you're supposed to do is, you're supposed to do two financial transactions. One is depositing an MRO. What is an MRO? MRO is a military receivable order. This is a way of giving a payment to Indian Army. So MRO can be deposited online at SBI's MRO website, eMRO website, or you can go physically to an SBI branch to deposit this amount. So that is the application fee. Now, along with that, you require something called as a EMD. EMD is if you are dealing with government contracts and tenders, EMD is a mandatory requirement. So EMD just shows that you are seriously interested in pursuing the application and you will not disappear in between. So EMD is basically what you do is, you contact your banker and tell them that especially the trade department of the banker. Every bank has a trade department, a trade section, which deals with letter of credits, performance bank guarantees. You have to contact them and tell them that you need an EMD for ECHS application. The ECHS application will have the format for the EMD, and that format you are supposed to hand out to the bank and give them the amount for the fixed deposit. They will create a fixed deposit. On basis of the fixed deposit, they will create an EMD for you and give you a document on a stamp paper. That stamp paper document, along with the MRO that you have deposited and 3 copies of the completed application, you are supposed to deposit to the regional center. Now, interestingly, every regional center, the clerical staff is very helpful. So you can just walk in, even if you are not completed the application, your incomplete application, you can just walk in, sit with them. They will be able to guide you. What are the documents are shortfalls, whatever is pending, they will tell you what to do, what not to do, and how to. They will guide you very well, because understand, this is the same clerk who is going to retire next few years and then come and be a ECHS beneficiary. So he will take care of it very well, and any issues they will sort it out. So after this entire application process is done, the scrutiny of the application at the regional center happens and you have deposited the application. Once you deposit this application goes to the central log, which is in Delhi, and there an approval of Ministry of Defence is taken. Now, there is a periodic meeting that happens at the central organization of ECHS, which approves and disapproves hospital. Approval of hospital is done on the basis of the documents that you submitted as well as the QCI report. If everything is in order, it is approved. This meeting can happen every once in every month, or once in 2 months, or once in every 3 months, depending on the availability of the Ministry of Defence staff. On every meeting, the pending applications, first in first out kind of an order is followed, and there is a GL note that you receive at your hospital once the application is approved. This GL note is called as government letter enclosure note. So once you receive this GL note, you are supposed to go back to the regional center, contact them again, and they also would have received a copy of it. And what you're supposed to do is, there is something called as an MOA. MOA is a Memorandum of Agreement. That Memorandum of Agreement is what is the basis for your empanelment. So Memorandum of Agreement is the document that you complete, which you sign with the regional center, that you are ready to provide the facilities for the empaneled ECHS beneficiaries. Now, the moment your GL note is released, comes out, your fixed deposit on which they have marked an EMD, earnest money deposit, that restrictions would be lifted, and you are free to liquidate that fixed deposit. But for signing of the MOA, you are supposed to furnish a PBG, performance bank guarantee. The procedure for the performance bank guarantee is exactly the same as the EMD procedure. You can contact the banker, give them a fixed deposit, accordingly they will process it, just that the amount is higher. So once you get the PBG document, along with that you can put in your MOA document, sign the entire set, make into 3 copies, hand over to the ECHS regional center. The moment, the date at which your MOA is signed is the date at which your empanelment starts. A copy of the MOA goes to the bill processing agency of ECHS, which is UTI ITSL, located in Bombay and Bangalore. So once they receive the copy, even by email, soft copy also they receive, means they will initiate the process for creating your user ID and password. Once your user ID and password is created, you will get a login access, like something like what you can see on the screen now. So once your user ID is created, you get a login ID page, which you can see on the screen now. So I'm just logging into my own hospital page just to show how it works. So this is a completely online procedure. Like, you can intimate your admissions, you can submit your bills, you can upload your documents. You get to see the ongoing cases. Like, you can see that there are 5 cases which have been claimed has been authorized for payment by the bill processing agencies. So this is a very seamless kind of a system where you just have to digitally sign your documents and upload. In short, how ECHS Empanelment works. One thing which I would like to say, that a lot of hospitals say that, okay, this is very, the rates is according to CGHS rate, which is not very rewarding. But look at it as an ancillary source of income, look at it as an running source of income. The thing is, the ECHS beneficiaries who come, they are already, most of the cases, 99% of the cases, they have already shown somewhere, been diagnosed, they have been counseled. They are just coming directly for surgeries, which will reduce a headache, which will reduce your chair time, it will reduce your effort in spending time with the patient. That's there. Secondly, there are clear guidelines on what is entitled, what is not. The patient is aware of it, because ECHS gives a very clear picture on what is their entitlement or not. And also the entire claim process is very good online, but however the payment is slightly delayed, and that's okay. So if you think that it is for you, if you can fit into this entire jigsaw puzzle, if you think that you are a good bet, kindly go ahead, apply. In case you get stuck anywhere, you need any clarification, feel free to contact the regional center of your hospital. And also you can feel free to contact me. The details are given on my YouTube channel, and that's it. And I wish that a lot of people apply for ECHS. We have a lot of hospitals which cover ECHS patient across the country. Thank you.